moving on to the next. So, spouse recently passing away. All right. So, obviously, this is a little bit different than an inherited home, but death it can be a driving factor to sell to a home buyer. Spouse passes away. And it commonly happens where the spouse passes away. And number one, the remaining spouse is not thinking, okay, how do I max out every dollar? It's not where their brain is at right then and there. And the other part, a lot of times with this, is spouse passes away. Now we got to figure out like if the current living situation even makes sense for the remaining person. A lot of times it doesn't. Maybe their property has, two sets of stairs or, two levels and they don't want to go up and down stairs anymore. Maybe they should be in a different, either house or facility, or maybe they then need to move closer to a relative. And again, just an example of a situation where what's the top priority? Like, if you were to ask most people who are a little older, their spouse passes away, what's the most important thing to you right now? It's probably not, let me sell my house and get top dollar. In a lot of cases, again, it can be, but in a lot of cases, it's not. Having the ability to provide that person with a solution. We've had a lot of people, that have had, situations like that. They want to move closer to a relative, to a kid, to a brother, to a sister. And this market's crazy, right? So the last thing that they want to deal with is be under the gun to find a property because they're selling their house at the same time. So this leads me to another big benefit and reason why sellers value a cash offer is because they can pick the day. Right? When we sign an agreement with the seller, yes, we are going to put a date in there, a moving date, but if they want to move it, we let them. Because we are not a retail traditional buyer, we're not dying to get into that property. Our rental property, our lease isn't up. We're not, oh my goodness, like I can't wait to get in here before the holidays. No, like if somebody wants to extend with us, we allow them. We'll allow them to extend as long as possible. So it's common for a seller to sell to us because of how crazy this market is, right? I had a seller that, just an example, just an older seller, had a house in Boston in one of the suburbs, one of the neighborhoods of Boston. And they said to us, we want to move south of Boston with my daughter, and I want to take my time. But I also, when I find a property that I like, I want to be able to close as soon as I want to close. And she said, well, whether that's going to be 6 months, a year, 2 years, I want you to be able to wait. A lot of why agents who have never dealt with these situations or maybe not been involved with the cash offer before, they don't necessarily understand maybe what some of the motivations and what some of the benefits are of that person selling to us. And I don't even remember. Like, I don't remember this person who sold their property to us. I don't remember how long they took to find a place because it didn't matter to me. If it was a month, it was a month. If it was a year, it was a year. If it was 2 years, it was 2 years. We were ready to be as patient as they wanted, or we'll be as fast as they need us to. And that was the one I just discussed.